I'm not with that. What you guys are doing in Austin.
What do you mean?
Well, let's be real. I don't like some of the words you guys use freely.
Like what?
It's like edgelord shit. It's like
not all of it.
I know, but it's becoming so hacky to me that 100%. You guys use these words just for the shock factor.
And sometimes it feels like Austin is a cesspool of narcissistic people who have no self-awareness. Nobody gives a fuck about who you are, even on a human level, until they see that you're good at the one thing everybody moved out there to do.
Could be related to a little green room spat that I had with Mr. Joe Rogan at his comedy club in Austin, Texas. So I'm not even a Joe Rogan hater, and I thought the mothership was actually pretty tight. And then I turn around and I see Joe Rogan like yelling at the security guard. And he's yelling, "Who let this fucking journalist in here? Kick him the fuck out."
Yeah, Austin comedy.
I didn't like the vibe at the mothership. I got in trouble for being in the green room, apparently.
Oh, you did?
A security guard took me into the green room.
Took you right out.
And I was like, hello. And then apparently after I wasn't invited in, so apparently Joe was mad at me. It's the other comedians.
Mm-hmm. You don't like it?
It's very F-word. It's that. Women are stupid.
The Rogan Sphere, a loose network of comedians, podcasters, fans, and venues orbiting Joe Rogan, is beginning to fracture. For over a decade, Rogan cultivated an identity of curiosity and neutrality, someone who could host scientists, fighters, conspiracy theorists, and comedians with equal interest. That brand of being politically center, or at least outside the mainstream political binary, attracted millions. But over time, cracks have formed. Rogan's audience has always skewed libertarian and contrarian, but as polarization deepened, those instincts increasingly aligned with the right. His own social media has at times gone beyond curiosity into outright provocation, as with the recent Instagram image portraying leftist media as a dog defecating into the mouths of liberals. To many, this is not neutrality, but antagonism. The perception of authenticity that once made Rogan so powerful is eroding, and the result is a splintering community.
A lot of fucking crazy leftist women started taking Tylenol to own JFK or RFK Jr. and Trump, and a bunch of them died of liver toxicity.
Because they took too much.
Yeah. Have you?
I knew it was going to happen.
A friend of mine.
TikTok, pregnant women just taking Tylenol, just out of spite.
It's crazy.
Social media discussions reflect this split. Former fans claim that Rogan no longer comes across as curious but as partisan, and that his open platform has become a vehicle for right-wing narratives. His defenders argue he is simply pushing back against excesses on the left, but either way, the cost is visible. Those who once felt included now feel alienated. The very premise of the Rogan Sphere as a forum for free inquiry is being redefined, and many are choosing to leave. One of the clearest examples of this fracture comes from the recent meltdown of Theo during the taping of his Netflix special at the Beacon Theater. Reports from the audience describe long silences, repeated jokes, forgotten cues, and even walkouts. Some fans recorded him later saying he was trying not to take his own life.
I've had a long night. I'm trying not to take my own life. Thank you guys. That was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Really? I don't know. We're gonna have to do one more next week. It's gonna be. We'll just take it. I'm here, right here. Praise God. There you go. Best I can do. Huh? I don't know. Oh, I've read this, but I like a smaller one. Okay, I gotta go chill out. You too, love you. Thanks,
Theo! The moment was widely discussed online, not just as a failed performance, but as an emblem of the dangers of being tied too closely to Rogan's ideological orbit. Vaughn has become more aligned with Rogan's universe, and to some, that association now comes with added scrutiny. When a comedian bombs while being closely identified with Rogan and right-leaning politics, the collapse feels ideological as much as personal. Whether Vaughn's problems were preparation, mental health, or external pressure, the public read them through the lens of Rogan's influence, which suggests the extent to which the Rogan Sphere's credibility now bleeds into its members' fates.
Theo is one of the few of your friends
He called me like when I was like right after we left LA. He called me one day. We just chatted. Was always super sweet to me.
Oh,
and like, I haven't on everything. I have no idea how he did that night. I've never asked you. It doesn't matter. If you have a bad night, why is that national news? And like for anything, imagine
you believe that it was on the front cover of Yahoo. We've become so uptight that bombing at your Netflix special in front of 3,000 people, not even an arena, not even Madison Square Garden, in front of 3,000 people really matters. So I get it, motherfuckers. We got to laugh more. We got to fuck more. We got to start drinking again because this motherfucker could end any goddamn day.
Another break is seen in Bobby Lee's rejection of what he calls the edgelord shit of the Austin comedy scene that has grown up around Rogan's club and his circle. On his own podcast, Lee expressed disgust with comedians using the R-word and N-word for laughs, with jokes at the expense of trans people, and with profanity wielded as if provocation alone were funny. He finds such material cringe and weird rather than boundary pushing.
Like if I meet you, you know when like you're hanging out with another comedian, he says the N-word around you for the first time?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a little trust that I'm in the circle.
Here we go. Let's talk about this real quick, okay? I'm not with that. You guys are doing in Austin.
What do you mean?
Well, let's be real. I don't like some of the words you guys use freely.
Like what?
It's like edgelord shit. It's like
not all of it.
I know, but it's becoming so hacky to me that
100%.
people, you guys use these words just for the shock factor.
100%.
It's like, I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the R word sometimes.
Lee's discomfort signals that as Rogan's community embraces a more antagonistic style of comedy, those unwilling to align with it feel pushed out. The center space, once held together by shared irreverence, is collapsing under the weight of ideological edges. Mark Pugh's account of his 500 days in Austin pursuing comedy shows another dimension of the problem. He moved to Austin in hopes of tapping into the opportunities Rogan's presence was said to create. Instead, he found a scene he described as a cesspool of narcissism, clout chasing, and gatekeeping. According to his experience, status was reserved for new comedians being groomed, performers with massive online followings, those with direct connections to Rogan's circle, or people willing to flatter semi-famous insiders.
When you're in a place like Austin, you don't realize it, but you are in a sea of people trying to make it, especially in a time where people get rich and famous off of the most minute things, the lowest form of effort. And sometimes it feels like Austin is a cesspool of narcissistic people who have no self-awareness. It's weird to go into a place where nobody gives a fuck about who you are, even on a human level, until they see that you good at the one thing everybody moved out there to do. That's weird. It's weird as hell. There's a lot of weirdo shit that went down in Austin in the comedy scene. I'll explain a little bit later. There was a whole lot of gatekeeping on how to get to certain things. When it came time for like life-changing opportunities, that information was rarely being given. I'm not the networking type of dude. I do the one thing I've always been doing since I started, which was get on stage and put everything on stage, because that's what we're here for. That's what I was understanding. There's a lot of people that don't know when to stop trying to be a clown, trying to out funny each other, and don't none of it be funny. I don't want to hear 50 white guys come up to me and almost say the N-word. It's like 50 white people come to you and say, "What's up, my ninja?" I don't want to hear that shit. Just almost saying the N-word or trying to say it. Let's talk about something else.
His story resonates because it captures the dissonance between Rogan's public rhetoric of openness and meritocracy and the reality of an insular, gate-kept scene dominated by cliques. Others have experienced exclusion more directly. Dr. Rabbit, a fan-favorite comedian from Kill Tony, was reportedly kicked out of the green room at Rogan's mothership, something that hurt her deeply. Steph Tolev faced similar treatment. The green room is not just a backstage area, but a symbol of belonging. Being removed signals rejection from the inner circle, and for performers who believed in the Rogan sphere as a community, that rejection is devastating.
Did you do Kill Tony?
No.
No. You didn't like it down there?
You see the adjusting of the sock?
You
I'm
can be
like,
candid. Who cares?
No, I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe at the mothership. I got in
Didn't
trouble
suit
for
you?
being in the green room, apparently.
Oh, you did?
A security guard took me into the green room.
Took you right out.
And I was like, hello. And then apparently after I wasn't invited in. So apparently Joe was mad at me.
That you were there?
That I was in the green room.
But he knows who you are. You've met
No,
before?
he doesn't.
Oh,
I
you
met
never
him that day. I got up. I go, hello, how are you? Great club. And then apparently I was ousted the next day.
Wow. What do you think
I
it
don't like
was?
the vibe there. I don't know. I mean, also, I'm like, he could have just been like, get the fuck out. I've been like, your club.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
club, your
that's
rules.
right. Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was the vibe of the. I did it again last year. It's the other comedians.
Mm-hmm. You don't like it?
It's very F word, retard. It's that women are stupid, women are unfunny, women are.
I haven't
dumb.
disagreed with one thing you've said so far.
It was very misogynistic and homophobic, and I didn't like the vibe.
The case of Andrew Callahan adds another layer. Callahan, a journalist and documentarian, has said Rogan had him removed from spaces simply for being a journalist. That expulsion reflects a closing of ranks. Rogan built his brand on curiosity and exposure to different perspectives, but here he is perceived as shutting out scrutiny. For those who valued his platform as a space of accountability and transparency, this shift is alarming. It is one thing to filter guests for relevance, but another to treat inquiry itself as a threat.
One user asks, why haven't you been on the Joe Rogan Experience? Well, there could be two reasons for that. One, which is probably most likely, is that I'm not popular, famous, and influential enough to be on JRE. Two, could be related to a little green room spat that I had with Mr. Joe Rogan at his comedy club in Austin, Texas. I was in Austin doing a couple different podcasts. The first podcast was Lex Friedman, and then the following day after that, I did the Matt and Shane Secret podcast. And unfortunately, Matt was out of town, but the homie Lemaire Lee, shout out to my boy, was there replacing Matt for that day. So that night after the podcast, Shane had a set at the Mothership Comedy Club. So he invited me, and in between sets, I'm chilling at the bar downstairs, and I'm getting like lightweight blown up by fans, which is fine. You know, I love fans. It was chill, but I was kind of like in a more relaxed headspace. I wanted to just doze off, you know, listen to comedy, chill. And so I told Lemaire, I'm like, yo, can I go upstairs to the green room? I'm trying to, you know, kick back and, you know, lay low for a bit. He's like, man, I could take you there, but just so you know, Joe Rogan's a bit territorial about that green room. Like, so it's at your own risk. And I'm like, dude, no way, it's going to be fine. Joe Rogan's reacted to like 7 of my videos because Jamie always plays them. So I'm like, it's going to be chill. So me and Lemaire take the elevator up to the secret green room at the Mothership. There's 5 comedians in there, all in their mid-20s. Everybody recognizes me except for Joe Rogan. So everybody's dapping me up. Lemaire says, hey, Joe, it's my homie Andrew. Shake Joe Rogan's hand. I put some popcorn in the microwave, which I felt like was establishing myself as a member of the green room. And then I turn around and I see Joe Rogan like yelling at the security guard. And he's yelling, who let this fucking journalist in here? Kick him the fuck out. I could hear Joe saying this. I guess somebody told him that I was like a journalist, so he maybe thought that I was a Daily Beast reporter that had snaked my way into his safe space to ask him about ivermectin, which is a valid concern. So before I could even get kicked out, I was like, Lemaire, I gotta get out of here. And I walked down the stairs and went back into general population.
Taken together, these threads illustrate why the Rogan sphere is unraveling. Rogan's move toward a more overt ideological stance leaves less room for ambiguity. Comedians tied to him feel pressured to align and suffer reputationally if they stumble. Gatekeeping within the Austin scene frustrates talented outsiders. The normalization of inflammatory humor alienates moderates like Bobby Lee. Removing dissenters or outsiders from Rogan's club further signals intolerance. And above all, the authenticity that once anchored Rogan's appeal has been compromised by his own provocations. When he shares images that mock liberals as mindless consumers of propaganda, it undercuts his insistence on being neutral. For some, this is refreshing honesty. For others, it is a betrayal. The future of the Rogan sphere is uncertain. It may consolidate into a tighter, more openly right-leaning network where loyalty to Rogan and his ideology is rewarded. It may fragment as comedians and fans leave to form independent spaces. It may try to recalibrate, though rebuilding trust with those already alienated will be difficult. What is clear is that the Rogan sphere is no longer the eclectic, open forum it once appeared to be. It has become an ideological ecosystem, and that transformation is driving both the loyalty of those who remain and the exodus of those who do not. In the end, the Rogan sphere's breakdown reflects the contradictions that defined it from the beginning. It thrived on a tension between curiosity and ideology, irreverence and responsibility, openness and control. Now that the balance is tipped, the community is being forced to decide whether to embrace the enclosure or to leave. Many are leaving, and the cracks are widening.